Thank you for watching. I'm Robin D.M. Potter, author of military sci-fi series Operation Dreadnaught. And in this video, I want to show you one of the real locations that helped shape the story in my first book, Major. Before I carry on, this is a spoiler for those who haven't yet read the book or listened to the audiobook, so please be aware of that before you go any further. Some of the places in Operation Dreadnaught series are based directly on real locations, others I've stitched together from memory, old photographs, and in many walks and hikes around my home country, Scotland. One of these places, Haughburn Farm, is a real working farm. It sits in the hills between the village of Dechmont and the town of Linlithgow in Scotland. It's a beautiful working landscape full of fields, tracks, trees, outbuildings, and on the surface, nothing dramatic. But once you start looking at it the way a soldier would, it changes. I'm using Google Earth here to show the bird's eye view of the farm and the surrounding landscape. At the bottom of the screen you see the high ridge, and in the book this sits to the north of the farm and is first mentioned when Traff and Spook come upon the farm for the first time. In reality, it sits south of the farm, and the whole location sits opposite to what it does in real life. You can see that the whole surrounding landscape has tracks that force you into predictable lines of advance. You have cover, walls, outbuildings, and field boundaries, as well as tree lines that hide troop movement. It is this sort of place where a small, well-trained unit can do a lot of damage to a larger force, if they're willing to stand and fight. In the book, Haughburn Farm is where B Troop must hold against Feesteen and his roughly 300 soldiers. I won't spoil the story, but the basic idea is simple. They're outnumbered, outgunned, and being chased, and Major and B Troop decide to hold their ground and fight. When I was writing the book, I knew that I'd include this farm, that it's one that I've passed many times and it's a fantastic location, one that suits the battle scene very well. When I plotted the battle, I walked the ground in my head, and I also went there and walked around myself. Where would Major put his guns? Where would the larger support weapons be? How would they fight and eventually pull back without getting cut to pieces? All of that comes from standing here and looking at the landscape and buildings. I changed the name of the farm from Riccarton to Hobburn. I think it fits into the book better, and it's still a name from a real location. It's the name of a small burn that runs to the north of the real farm. I pronounce it Haughburn. It can also be Huff or Who, but I prefer Haughburn. In the book, some of the details get exaggerated or toned down so the story flows, but the bones of it are all there. The small stone bridge that gets blown up is there at the bottom of the screen, and the second small house sits to the right of the main complex, just as it does in the story. The main house, where Major finds a hidden arms supply, is the main farmhouse that now, in reality, sits to the left of the main farm complex. The river that goes under the stone bridge and the hidden approach where Feesteen's soldiers eventually cross are all within the landscape. If you've read Major or listened to the audiobook, you've already been to this location. You just saw it through Major and Feesteen's eyes. In future videos, I'll be taking you to more real-world locations that shaped the battles in Operation Dreadnaught, places that most people drive past or walk past without giving a second thought. If you want to see how a quiet Scottish farm turns into one of the major battles, start with Book 1, Major, then go on to Ursus. The links are below. If you want to learn more about the lore and the history behind the series, the world of the Mellies Nation, subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of any new videos coming up. For now, this is Haughburn Farm. In real life, it's just a farm between Dechmont and Linlithgow. In the books, it's where B Troop fight their first major battle and show why they're the elite soldiers of the Dreadnaught Special Operations Regiment.